Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be able to be here today representing the National Endowment for the Humanities, and I bring greetings from Chairman William Brough Adams, who is disappointed not to be able to attend himself. I want to thank the Governing Board and the Advisory Council of the Association for Tribal Archives, Libraries, and Museums for organizing this excellent conference, and of course the important sponsors. And thank you all for inviting NEH to be part of it. It is such an honor to see so many of NEH's grantees represented in the conference program. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The NEH, as you may know, is the federal agency charged with supporting the humanities. Though our funds are limited, we are involved with projects in a wide variety of areas, furthering important work in the humanities across the country. Our areas of focus include strengthening teaching and learning in the humanities in schools and colleges, providing opportunities for lifelong learning through public programs, facilitating research and original scholarship both in traditional media and in the digital realm, preserving and providing access to cultural resources, and supporting the 50 state humanities councils. In addition, Chairman Adams' initiative that he has brought to the agency, The Common Good, Humanities in the Public Square, is designed to demonstrate and support through grant making the critical role of the humanities in all of our public lives. Through support for veterans programs, grants to scholars who are writing for the public, and a variety of other initiatives, the NEH will continue to ensure that the humanities are available to all Americans. From that overview of the agency, let me now focus on NEH's support for Native American projects in particular. The Native American communities in our country serve as invaluable resources for our nation's history and traditions. NEH has a long tradition and a deep commitment to the study and preservation of Native American language, history, and culture. Grantees have used NEH grants to explore their rich histories and traditions, pursuing a variety of initiatives including preservation, access, education, and research projects related to Native Americans. We provide, for example, support for tribal institutions through programs such as the Humanities initiatives at tribal colleges and universities, and awards for faculty at tribal institutions. Our challenge grants have helped develop and bring into being tribal cultural centers across the country, and as Letitia mentioned, the Documenting Endangered Languages program, partnership with the NSF, provides support for language documentation. The project as a whole provides support for language documentation around the world, but the NEH's work has a particular priority on Native American languages. Also in this area, we have a particular focus on preservation of audiovisual materials. As you all know, with so much of Native American cultural heritage in the oral tradition and collected on cylinders and tapes, we are working urgently to support the reformatting of these materials to capture this endangered heritage. Also, through our public programs division, we have supported exhibits, websites, and documentary films that explore Native American cultural heritage. And one of these films, Rising Voices, will be screened here this afternoon. Congratulations to the filmmakers, Larry Hutt and Wilhelm Meyer. This film, as you may know, is part of the Language Conservancy, of which Wilhelm Meyer is the head, ongoing effort to preserve and revitalize languages in North America. The Conservancy advocates for endangered languages, drawing on Wilhelm's more than 20 years of experience in higher education, linguistics, film production, and nonprofit management. The film depicts the significant effort by both Lakota and non-Indian people in the day-to-day struggle to save a dying language. The film is a portrait of a culture, a look at the problem of language loss, and an analysis of the revitalization efforts that have brought hope to the native speakers on the Lakota reservations of North and South Dakota. One of the reasons that Chairman Adams is particularly sorry to miss this event is that he would have had the chance to see again Donald Saktama, the tribal historian for the Passamaquoddy tribe in Maine, who, in addition to the award he is receiving today, was recently recognized by the Maine Humanities Council, an award that Chairman Adams was able to personally bestow upon him. The state of Maine is richer and more historically aware because of the work he's been doing for years. I would also like to recognize Donald's work on another NEH project that will be highlighted this afternoon, a project that draws attention to the important role that small tribal archives play in creating access to hidden historical records. The University of New Hampshire's project, Writing of Indigenous New England, is building up the digital infrastructure and supporting professional development at small cultural centers across New England, while exposing critical historical documents, tribal newsletters and newspapers, creative writing, recipes, and the personal documents of important figures like Princess Redwing, born of a Narragansett father and a Wampanoag mother. Donald is working closely with this project as well. We're also supporting the American Philosophical Society's project, working with its tribal partners to improve catalog records and restore Native ownership of these historical materials. Some of you are also here today, and I applaud the work of the Leech Lake Tribal College and the Fond du Lac Ojibwe. Since 2005, NEH has partnered with NSF, as I mentioned, on the Documenting Endangered Languages program that acknowledges that endangered languages represent a vast repository of human knowledge about the natural world and cultural traditions. As you well know, when we lose a language, we lose language diversity, cultural knowledge, knowledge about natural systems, and of course, community identity. Through this program, we've awarded over 300 grants and 85 fellowships, totaling over $46 million in funding for projects related to 235 individual languages spoken in 54 countries. And about 45 of those relate to Native American languages, particularly focused on by the NEH. This program builds on a long tradition at NEH of supporting the documentation of Native American languages. Even before the partnership with NSF, NEH had supported collaborative work of linguists and community members to develop dictionaries, among them the Lushat Seed Dictionary in Oregon and a Hopi Dictionary. The list of projects we've supported within the DEL program is long, but let me name just a few. We've supported Jessie Little Doe Baird in her efforts to develop an educational program for the Wampanoag language. We also supported the Penobscot Dictionary Project at the University of Maine, which was also a model of collaboration between collecting institutions, community members, and linguists. True as well for the Miami, Illinois Dictionary Project that we supported. And that is also modeling the appropriate uses of online access. In California, Eugene Buckley is finishing up his project to document the rapidly disappearing Kashaya-Pomo language. And before I close, I'd like to recognize the model work supported by NEH on the Klallam language, which was spoken on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. We as an agency are proud to support past and ongoing projects to keep Native American language, culture, and history alive and vital. And we wish to acknowledge the critical role that libraries, archives, and museums play in undertaking this work, and thank you all for your partnerships. And finally, NEH representatives were also pleased to be able to participate in the White House Initiative on American Indian and Alaska Native Education Summit, which was held yesterday with tribal leaders from across the country. I want to thank all of you so much for all that you do for the preservation and celebration of this important cultural heritage, and we look forward to continuing to work with you in the years ahead. Thank you very much.